Okay, so Booktube-A-Thon is officially over, and that was a very long week. So hey guys, and welcome to another video, and welcome to my Booktube-A-Thon Wrap Up. I had a pretty good Booktube-A-Thon all in all. I read 6 books, just coming short of the read a book a day challenge, but I didn't really complete many of those challenges, so I can't really complain about losing out on that one. Since we have a lot to talk about, I'm going to jump straight into it. My first pick for the Booktube-A-Thon was The Golden Lily by Rochelle Mead. This is the sequel to Bloodlines. This overall was a very good book, but I didn't quite enjoy it as much as I did the first one. I know a lot of people will complain about romances in books, but I found this one to be slightly heavy-handed in comparison to the first one. In this one, our main character is clearly destined to end up with Adrian, but in this one she gets another human boyfriend, and when they go on dates and kiss, there's no spark. She wonders if there's something wrong with her. And then of course later when she kisses Adrian, the heavens open and she sees stars. And I mean, excuse me while it was a bit too much this time around. Overall, I did actually really enjoy the book, but I did have to deduct a star for the cheesy romance. So in the end, I gave Golden Lily by Rochelle Mead 3 stars. And then straight after that, I decided to jump straight into the sequel, which is The Indigo Spell. The romance was less cheesy this time around, I am happy to say, and the central mystery was a lot more intriguing and furthered the overall plot a lot more. So in the end, I think I went with 3.5, 4 stars. I can't really say anything else because it's a sequel, but if you haven't checked this series out and you enjoyed Vampire Academy, I would definitely give this one a go. Then the next book I decided to read was on my Kindle, and that was Everybody Sees the Ants by A.S. King. I haven't read anything by A.S. King, and people have been recommending her to me for the longest time, so in truth I felt like reading a contemporary during the Booktube-A-Thon, and I couldn't really pick which one. So luckily for me, I went through my YouTube subscription feed and there was a Booktube-A-Thon video with Ariel Bissett holding up this very book, and I was just like, I have that on my Kindle. Let's give that a go. And I'm really glad I did because I really enjoyed it. This is a contemporary novel that sort of tells 2 parallel stories. In the one we have our main character dealing with being bullied and being the victim, and there's another parallel story going along that where he saves his grandpa in the Vietnam War. This book actually had elements of magical realism, which I had no idea about going in, and I am really happy I didn't because it was a nice surprise and I really enjoyed it. I now feel very stupid for putting off A.S. King for quite a while. I'm going to jump into a few more of her books relatively soon. In the end, I gave Everybody Sees the Ants by A.S. King 4 stars. The next book I read was Partials by Dan Wells. This book has been on my shelf for the longest time, and I was really happy that I got to it during the Booktube-A-Thon. Anybody who's seen Battlestar Galactica, this is basically that in YA book form. It deals with a sort of robot apocalypse, and now all the robots actually look like us and are synthetic. Me and this book actually went on quite the journey. I really struggled with the first 100 pages. I really didn't like it. I didn't like the setup, I didn't like how we were thrown straight into the world, and I really didn't like the main character. But towards the middle I started to like it a lot more. I even started to like the main character a bit, and I liked the intrigue that was created. Felt more of a different type of YA dystopian because it was very scientific. It was all about viruses and the previous war. So around the middle I was actually getting into it, and then by the end I was actually really enjoying it. This book is actually part of a trilogy, and I want to read the sequel right away, but I'm going to have a non-YA reading month next month, so I will be getting to the sequel to this in September, and in the end I gave Partials by Dan Wells 4 stars. The next book I also read on my Kindle, and that is Two Boys Kissing by David Levithan. I think that's how you say it. It's sort of a collection of stories that all revolve around LGBT issues. The main story is about 2 boys who decide to kiss for 32 hours, I believe, to break the world record, and all the attention, both positive and negative, that it attracts to them. Overall, I really enjoyed this book, and I do think it's an important book that addresses a lot of issues, but I did also have some problems with it, and that is the narration. This book is basically narrated by the AIDS generation of gay men, and at times I felt that a bit preachy and heavy-handed. There are a lot of sort of interconnected stories, and I enjoyed all of those stories, and I think if less time was spent on the narration, I would have enjoyed those stories a lot more. In the end though, the writing was wonderful. It's my first David Levithan, and I definitely intend to read more by him, but in the end the problems I had with the narration left me giving Two Boys Kissing by David Levithan 3.5 stars. Then we come to the last book I sort of read during the Booktube-A-Thon. I actually didn't finish it. I got 244 pages in, and that is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. I won't talk about this too much because, like I said, I haven't finished it, but I'm still going to use those 244 pages towards my total. So I read 2010 pages in total for the Booktube-A-Thon, and 6 books throughout the entire week, which I am very, very pleased by. In the comments below, let me know if you participated in the Booktube-A-Thon and how you did. Also give this video a thumbs up if you like the content that I create for you, and I shall see you soon with another video. Goodbye!